Peptic ulcer disease. In common terms, ulcer means an open sore and word peptic is related to acid. So peptic ulcer means an open sore due to acid in gastrointestinal tract. But in medical terms, peptic ulcer is an open sore which develops in the lining of the gastrointestinal tract that causes pain in the stomach. Types of peptic ulcer. Peptic ulcers are of two types. First is gastric ulcer, which is located in the inner lining of the duodenum. And the second is duodenal ulcer, which is located in the duodenum or beginning of small intestine. Both ulcers penetrate the muscularis mucosa, but erosions do not penetrate the muscularis mucosa. Peptic ulcer may be acute or chronic. Pathophysiology. Peptic ulcers are defects in the gastric or duodenal mucosa that extend through the muscularis mucosa. The epithelial cells of the stomach and duodenum secrete mucus in response to irrigation of the epithelial lining and as a result of cholinergic stimulation. The superficial portion of the gastric and duodenal mucosa exists in the form of a gel layer which is impermeable to acid and pepsin. Other gastric and duodenal cells secrete bicarbonate which aids in buffering acid that lies near the mucosa. Prostaglandins of the E type, that is PGE, prostaglandin E, have an important protective role because PGE increases the production of both bicarbonate and the mucus layer. In normal condition, a physiologic balance exists between production of acid or diffusion of hydrogen ion and bicarbonates and production of protective mucus. When the balance between the aggressive factors, that is acid secretion, and the defensive mechanism is disrupted, that results in mucosal injury. Aggressive factors. First is H. pylori. Peptic ulceration is strongly associated with H. pylori, that is Helicobacter pylori infection. These infections are probably acquired in childhood by person-to-person contact. The vast majority of colonized people remain healthy and asymptomatic, and only a minority develops clinical disease. H. pylori is gram-negative and spiral and has multiple flagella at one end, which makes it motile, allowing it to burrow and live beneath the mucus layer adherent to the epithelial surface. H. pylori or Helicobacter pylori exclusively colonizes gastric type epithelium and is only found in the duodenum in association with patches of gastric metaplasia. It causes chronic gastritis by provoking a local inflammatory response in the underlying epithelium. In most people, H. pylori causes localized antral gastritis associated with depletion of somatostatin from D cells and increased gastrin release from G cells. Virulence factors produced by H. pylori, including urease, catalase, vacuolating cytotoxin, and lipopolysaccharide, are well described. The ulcer probably arises because of impaired mucosal defense resulting from a combination of H. pylori infection, NSAIDs, and smoking, rather than excess acid. Second aggressive factor is NSAIDs. Most of the people use a lot of analgesics, that is non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, and which may aggravate the peptic ulcer. So treatment with NSAIDs is associated with peptic ulcers. These are a group of painkiller drugs which are most easily available drugs without prescriptions. Overuses of non-selective NSAIDs can damage the gastric and duodenal mucosal barrier and are associated with an increased risk of upper gastrointestinal ulceration, bleeding, and perforation. Third is smoking. Smoking and tobacco use is also associated with risk of developing duodenal and gastric ulcers. Once the ulcer has formed, it is more likely to cause complications and less likely to heal if the patient continues to smoke. Fourth is alcohol intake. Drinking alcohol is also associated with gastric and duodenal ulcers. Ethanol is known to cause gastric mucosal irritation and non-specific gastritis. Severe physiologic stress. Stressful conditions that may cause PUD include in burns, CNS trauma, surgery, and severe medical illness. Serious systemic illness, sepsis, hypotension, respiratory failure, and multiple traumatic injuries increase the risk for secondary ulceration. Local radiation resulting in mucosal damage, which may lead to the development of duodenal ulcers. Other factors are sleep deprivation, sedentary lifestyle, eating habits, anxiety, depression. They are also common factors associated with peptic ulcer. Now, what are the signs and symptoms if you have peptic ulcer? The most common symptom is recurrent abdominal pain, which may be dull or sharp, which has three important characteristics: localization to the epigastrium, relationship to food, and episodic occurrence. Sometimes food makes the pain better, and sometimes it makes it worse. Other symptoms include nausea, vomiting, or feeling bloated or full. It is important to know that there are many causes of abdominal pain, so not all pain in the abdomen is an ulcer. Sometimes in elderly people or people taking NSAIDs for the years have no symptoms or very vague abdominal pain. These are silent ulcers and usually diagnosed first time when they develop anemia from undetected chronic blood loss. Occasionally, the only symptoms are anorexia and nausea or early satiety after meals. For more updates on healthy lifestyle and medical problems, visit www.askmeforadvice.com. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe.